motives, unless she's like an amazing actress, their motives don't really line up. So I don't think she's the leader.
Welcome to The Story Thinker, a Webtoons and Witcher podcast for superfans with scene-by-scene analysis. Featuring sharp co-hosts for a fuller picture, we dive deep into character psychology, relationships, and theories. We'd love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, and rate us on all podcast platforms and social media. For bonus content, you can support The Story Thinker on Patreon. Let's begin. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 152 of Purple Hyacinth, Promise Proceeding. And today we have a new co-host, Chaise. And Chaise, would you like to introduce yourself and tell everyone about your wonderful work?
Hi, I'm Chaise. I'm an 18-year-old illustrator. I live in Australia, as you can tell, and as Mindy can tell from my accent. I write my own webcomic. I also do other things. I have some like original projects in the work, and I love webcomics. They're my favorite form of media to consume. And Purple Hyacinth is my favorite webtoon. So I was really excited to be able to be on here, and might see me again in some other episodes in the future. So awesome. I'm really excited because I love I just love analyzing my favorite properties. So I'm really excited to get into this.
Yeah, how did you find Purple Hyacinth, and how long have you been reading it?
I found it through, I was watching Webtoon's YouTube channel, and it said like 5 webtoons you need to check out, and I was like, okay, I'll click on this. And I did not find it through the video. I found it through the comments. The comments were all saying, why isn't Purple Hyacinth on this list? It's so good. And I was like, maybe I should read this. It was literally every single comment was saying, read Purple Hyacinth, it's so good. Like, all right, I'll read it. I think the episode that I started, it might have been like this, like one of the first few episodes of season 2. So like 55 or something around there. I'm really sad that I didn't get to read it like when it was coming out, or like the canvas versions. I'm always curious about like what they look like, but I'm so glad that I started reading it when I did, because being along for this journey, even though it sucks having to wait a week and all the cliffhangers, I don't know, I've just fallen in love with this series. It's like it's something that I have to look forward to on Tuesdays. Now. It's actually because a lot of my series that I read on Webtoon are on they're on pause right now. And Purple Hyacinth's not. So it's like the only thing that I have to read and spend my coins on. So
yeah, I agree. Like Webtoons also for me, it's like, oh, there's a Sunday night one that I'm excited about. There's obviously the Monday night, whatever. Or for you it's Tuesday, but it does make my week brighter, that's something special. All right, okay, so we have a juicy episode. Lots of things happening.
I'm so glad I got this one.
Yeah, did you anticipate any of this happening?
Yeah, but not this fast. It does make sense. I don't really know what else they'd add in. Like, this makes sense as a next thing from last episode. It's such a whiplash from like last week was like calm and like kind of slow, and everything was low tension, and now everything's just up in the air and everyone is on edge.
Right, all in one episode. Yeah, I was not expecting things to turn out the way they did. I'm happy they did, but this was not how I expected like Bella's story to go or Redcliff's story to go. So they threw me for a surprise. It's really good when an author can still surprise you. I was like, for sure they're gonna do this, for sure they're gonna do that. Okay. Yeah. So we open up, we have some soldiers, and they are walking along the street. We see, it looks like a palace in the background, and all the purple hyacinths, and as people know,
floating on the wall,
right, randomly stuck there.
So they kick open the
magical door. Levitating.
Oh yeah. Yep, they kick open the door, and I remember, so the first guy that we see, the first 𝗵𝗲𝗁 member, everyone in me too, I have to admit, everyone in the server was like, is this William? And I have to say, I was like, is that William? And I'm like, no, his hair's like scruffier and looks a bit different. But yeah, he's just, I think he's in a bathroom, so he's just like finished washing his hand and turns around and he's got police putting at him. He's like, whoa. Interesting.
He didn't have the same vest as William. I also thought it was Will for a second, but his face looks completely different. He looks shorter.
That would be the plot twist of the century.
Oh my.
Yeah. So they're just arresting a few more members. You're being arrested for collaboration with the Phantom Scythe. Yeah. So there's about, I think we see about 4 or 5 members being arrested.
Well, yeah, here it's the blonde person, and then the shirtless person in bed, and then it's
I think that's like a woman and her child, and like the husband's being arrested.
Or maybe they're just watching on the street.
Or just maybe they're watching on the street, maybe.
Yeah, because it looks like they're just bystanders. Yeah, but altogether, they go in the car and like 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃, 4th District. We completed all 15 arrests. Convicts are at the precinct. They are heading to the tower immediately. All right, so they have arrested so far 15 people. 15. We'll arrange for their transport to the tower shortly. And we see the Tower of 𝗏𝗏𝗱𝗏. And I don't know about you, but that brought back memories of like everyone dying.
The last time we were at the tower, it didn't end very well.
That was traumatic event. No, I don't want to relive that. I really don't want to. I was like, no, don't make Kiki bust, like kill them or like, I don't want anything to happen at the tower. I don't know if they're going to ask him. I don't want them to ask him. I don't want him to kill anyone. So I don't want it to happen. My son is saying hi. He wants everyone to acknowledge his presence.
I know we're going to do a podcast on Covenant.
Baby, but now you need to go to sleep. Maybe we will do a special episode with my son on Covenant. How about that? Should anyone do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to finish catch up, and then we'll do one. Okay.
Yeah.
And now I don't know. All right.
Stop speaking French to me. It's annoying.
So they are. Looks like they're being transported. We have the police with some of the arrestees, and we have Dakin and Tristan standing there, performing their official duties.
This is the real couple of Purple Hyacinth. The real couple goals.
Yeah, it's interesting that they work together, and they, I wonder what it would be like to have to work with someone that you're also in a relationship with. I wouldn't want to do that personally. I think
especially not in their position. Like if you're just working at like I don't know, your Starbucks with your significant other, but like they're like the chief of police and the right hand of the king, and they're like always in danger. And like they care about each other and they don't want to see each other hurt. So like kind of a stressful job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So Tristan says, "Thank you, Lieutenant. Make sure no names are leaked outside the precinct or to the press when they come in the morning by order of the right hand over." Which just made me think like, okay, these names are getting leaked.
Something's gonna happen. Some mole is gonna, get their hands on them and leak them.
Yeah, I don't know how important they are, so I don't know if they're ever going to come up again, but it's just whenever someone says don't do this, it's like, of course, the opposite.
It's gonna happen. Yep.
And now we switch scenes. We're at the circus and we see Bella, and she is applying lipstick.
Yep.
And it's a very, the cuts, the panels are beautiful. I love how they, feature just like a small part of her face, highlights. I think, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you take? So yeah, I'll just go through the panels a bit. We see her eye, and we see her close her eye, and it's reflected in the dagger. And then we see it again, but it's like all lines.
Yep.
So how do you interpret those?
So she has light in her eyes in the first one, like you can see the shines, and then you open them. There's still a shine, but there's like no shading in her eyes, so they're just like completely dull. Because as we find out later, she's going on a mission to do something quite drastic. So and I love the the close-up when you're like framing a panel. The close-up is supposed to show emotion, and the like faraway shots are supposed to like establish thing. And having it really close up really emphasizes her emotions right now, which are running quite high, as we saw in the previous episode, and as we'll see later.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she looks defeated in these panels. Even before we knew what she probably was intending, which I'm like, was she telling the truth? I don't know, but she looks so depressed, which unsurprisingly she thinks her girlfriend is
gone.
So yeah, and then you got to feel some sympathy for her. She tucks her dagger in again, which is like foreshadowing. She's gonna use it. Like, does she ever go anywhere without her dagger? I don't.
Yeah, I know. Like, she just always got it on her. Can't leave the house without my dagger. Yeah.
And she's got her cape on. She heads out, and as she has her hand on the handle, she stops and frowns because guess what? Pop! the police have finally got her number. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 people.
7 guards, yep. I find it funny. Someone pointed out in the Discord they're wearing bulletproof vests, even though they know they're taking down Bella, who uses a knife.
Right.
Which is, you know what, fair enough, cover all bases, but still, she's bringing her knife to a gunfight, and she might win.
Right. I thought right away because, you know, I was like, y'all, you gotta protect your neck. You know, all you need is a bit of skin. Like, that's it. It's nothing. It's so dangerous. But whatever. I don't know. They didn't listen to me. I personally think it's dumb, but okay. And she like goes like that, and she laughs. She's like, "Ha, just perfect." Because it's like, oh, screw it, everything's going to pot. Everything.
Yeah, I've already lost everything. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump out.
Yeah, like may as well just be captured now. Whatever. Like, just Murphy's Law. Girlfriend dead. I'm maybe about to go kill my only friend on the whole planet, and yeah, sure, I'm just gonna get captured now.
Yeah.
So she comes out, but obviously she comes out not guns blazing, but dagger blazing. She somehow jumps, I don't know how high up in the air, and she manages to slash at least 2 people. One guy's arm looks like it's completely dismembered, which I don't know if that small dagger could do that. It's really sharp.
It's pretty strong knife. Yeah.
It's
strong blade, I should say.
But yeah, so there's like several people that she slats, and 2 guys are down on the ground. So at least 2 people are killed.
Yeah.
But here I was like, okay, is this going to be, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think it was going to be like, oh, you know, save the day, she's going to get away and kill everybody?
I honestly did think she was not going to get caught. So like, because just up until now, she's just, she like got someone in a hospital bed, and then she got someone in like in the interrogation room. So like she's just always been seen as being like sneaky and stuff, and like she didn't kill in the like episode before the season 1 finale. She didn't kill Lauren because she didn't want witnesses. So like she's smart. She's not just like stabbing everyone. She does think about it. So yeah, her getting grabbed and then she like gets tranquilized so quickly. I was like, oh my gosh, she's actually like being taken down. Like that's the first time you like. We've seen, like, obviously 𝗵𝗄 members have been captured, but none have been, like, as important as Bella has been and, like, invincible. So this is a pretty big deal.
It is, yeah. I was surprised, like, when they grab her and tranquilize her, but I was pleased because I'm not a big fan of Mary Sue's, right? What are they called? Where, like, the character just gets away with everything and, like, can do no wrong, is super powerful, like, just there's no, like, consequences. Like, it has to be realistic. And listen, like, she's one person, there's 7 of them there. At some point, like, she can't just evade capture forever. So I'm happy that it was realistic and that she isn't like just getting away.
She didn't get captured.
So yeah, and I, you know, I thought it was actually fitting that she, who like with her stroke of a knife can incapacitate people in like a second, like they're just down, that she had that done to her. And obviously, like, they're only tranquilizing her, but still, like, the fact she went down, I thought it was just so parallel and so fitting for her.
Yeah.
Also, they were pretty smart to tranquilize her because...
that's a pretty smart thing to bring to the fight.
Yeah, otherwise, I don't know how, if they would have held out. Yeah, she drops. She is down.
She's dropped and she crashes on the floor.
Yeah, to our surprise. So now we switch again, and it looks like we are at the tower. We have a prison cell. We have the outside, and then we have March, and he is walking down, and people are clinking and slamming. That's
Tristan, actually.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are yelling at him.
Yeah, and people are right. They're pig, let me out, clanging, and Tristan is just being totally mum. He's ignoring them. But he walks to Sandman's cell and he says, April Sandman. So it's interesting because we didn't see him get arrested. So I wonder if he turned himself in and he just got arrested. Like, I don't know how he got there.
I think, that he definitely, because like the last episode we saw him like holding the documents and going into the police. So I'm assuming he just handed them and like just, I don't know, just put his hands out and he was like, just cuff me, boys, just take me. I want to be taken in. Sandman is my favorite, apart from like the main 4, he's my favorite character. So I was quite happy to see him in this episode.
Oh, what makes him your favorite character?
I don't know, maybe the fact that like he's not he's just so clever. He has such an interesting like perspective when he was talking to Laurie about how his daughter was killed by Kieran, and he like is not even gonna he didn't even like plan on outing his identity. He just knows like this is the life I'm in now. My daughter doesn't even know I'm alive.
Mhm.
I mean he's just very clever with all his plans, and like even though I don't know, like he's self-sacrificing, like he's just sacrificed his life. He probably knows he is at risk of getting like assassinated now that he's brought everyone down, but I don't know, he still does it just because he's a strong person. He did like even though he's part of this organization, he's killed and done stuff, he wants the organization to come down. Um, I don't know. I just really like him a lot. I don't
Yeah, I'm with you. I also admire that maturity that he has and that long-term perspective that he has.
Yeah.
And that they have the ability to forgive even the killer of his daughter and to understand him and to sympathize with him. Empathize,
Yeah.
really. I think that's extremely admirable. So yeah, Tristan says, Abel Sandman, and Abel doesn't even turn around to look at him, but he says,
Yeah.
keep Sinclair.
I think that's also a thing, like because he says after this, he says sorry about Alexander and Rachel, Lauren's parents. I think he has some sort of like shame as well, like because he's been like dead for 10 years, I think, and like he hasn't had to face the consequences because he never had to like have anyone like I don't know confront him. So I think he's facing away just for like the shame. He's just ashamed, even though he's brought them down. He's still like I took away this guy's brother and his I think it's the sister-in-law. That would be yeah, so I think it's definitely a purposeful like I don't want to look at him because I'm ashamed.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. It must be extremely poignant for him because he regrets what he did. Yeah, and he says Tristan says, I didn't expect to ever see you again. You fooled us all with that car accident. And he says, I'm deeply sorry. I mean, it's a beautiful admission. I mean, it sounds like we know that he to some extent had to do it, but he seems very sincere and authentic, and you can't bring dead people back, but an apology is the best you can do, I guess.
Yeah, and genuine ones at that. And then Tristan says that he didn't expect to believe it if he heard it, but he says, judging from his actions, consider there might be some truth. So even though he doesn't really believe that he's sorry because of what Sandman's done, giving them all these files on all these Phantom Scythe members, he's taken that to heart and he can actually believe that he is sorry. And I believe he is sorry, and I think Lauren does too.
Yeah. And you do see like he seems conflicted because there is like that disgust expression on his face. Yeah. So obviously it's still difficult for him.
Yeah.
Because they thought it was an accident. It's not. But yeah, that's awful. And he continues and he says, I thought you would appreciate to hear that the arrests have been going very well so far. Over 50 people already. Okay, so wow, it's a lot.
Yep.
And he says, the right hand of the king and the APD, thank you for your contribution. And Tristan has this, not Tristan, Sam has this little smile. He's like, happy to help you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like a wry smile? What do you think is like in that smile?
I think he's just genuinely happy to hear that his stuff has helped. It's like he actually is happy to help. Like he's going down for this too, but he's just happy that he literally said it. He said betraying the Phantom Scythe is suicide, so he wants to bring as many people down as he can. So yeah. I think he's very genuine.
I feel so bad for Abel. I mean, I'm hoping he makes it out alive, but I don't.
Oh yeah, like the 𝗪𝗏 like cave scene.
Yeah,
it's just like running through my head every time I see a male character. I'm like, is he gonna be the dead? Is it even gonna be a real death? Or
yep, I don't want anyone to die, but someone's gotta die.
Yeah, someone's gonna do it.
Yeah, so now we switch. I hope it's not the last time we see Sandman. At least we did see Sandman again, so okay. Yeah. So now we switch, and we are in the interrogation room with the APD and Bella, and they're saying, "Golden Viper, huh? We know you're guilty of all the charges pressed against you. Keep your lies to yourself. Who is the leader?" And she's like, "You piddly people really can't help but be stupid." Of course, Bella classic form, just insulting everyone right and left.
Yeah.
And she's like, I already told you. I don't know. You're wasting your time. And I wish we had Lauren's abilities. I mean, I don't think
but this is probably
knows,
true. Yeah, because we know that no one knows except the original apostles. And yeah, so and a lot of people were talking about maybe getting Lauren in like a next episode to interrogate her. And as good as an idea as that would be, because like we, the audience, know that she will be able to detect stuff. In the context of the story, they won't let her because like they don't believe her liability thing, and obviously Lauren is supposed to be like kind of keeping it down a bit. So yeah, it would be very helpful to have her, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, it would also be so dramatic because, like, so I don't think Lauren knows that Darcy and Bella are romantic.
No, I don't think so either.
But let's say if, Kieran wanted her to talk to her, I wonder if, Lauren interrogated her, if she could, communicate somehow, like hint that, hey, relax, so like Darcy's alive.
Yeah, she's alive. She's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's going. I don't know. We'll see.
Didn't Darcy die?
No. And so she's just, smiling her little slightly maniacal smile.
I love how in this scene she never stops smiling. She's smiling in every panel.
Well, it's kind of like, I'm here. I'm going to make the best of it. They're not going to break my spirit. I'm still going to be nasty, Bella. I'm still going to be, I'm powerful. They're not breaking me.
Yep.
I'm dominant. I'm the crazy one. Like, she's also a little crazy, right? To smile in that situation. So yeah, but it's typical Darcy, Bella. No one's getting her down.
No one, yeah. Oh yeah, and then the guy says, "What about the purple hyacinth?" And I did not expect that. I was like, "Oh my god, they're actually like asking smart questions, like who was the leader and who was the purple hyacinth." And then I'm like, "Oh my god, is she actually gonna like say who it is?"
Oh my god!
Spoiler alert! Not in this episode. Not in this episode.
I am like terrified. She said what she does say is, okay, so she said, it would be my pleasure to get rid of him for you. He sure is lucky that I was stuck here for now. And they're like, why? And she says, because I was on my merry way to kill him before you interrupted me. And she has like the craziest face ever. But okay, so two things. Do you think she's telling the truth? And do you think she'll betray Kieran?
I think she definitely was on her way to kill him. Because there's like what else is she gonna do? She already beat up Redcliff for, like ordering it, even though he says it came from the leader. But it's for her. It's kind of not. It's not even for the death of Darcy. It's also for all the abuse that he's given her. So she beats him up, and then she's like, okay, what do I do now? She's like, well, I guess the only logical thing is to go kill Kieran. So yeah, I think she definitely was on her way to do that. So good thing she got arrested. And then she also says he sure is lucky that I'm stuck here for now, which is implying that she is going to try and escape, and probably will succeed.
Wait, oh, that's hilarious! I didn't even notice that. That's so funny. Didn't notice that she said for now. Wow. Yeah. All right. So you think she's gonna escape? Is that what your call is?
Yeah. Okay. So either she's gonna escape, or Lauren and Kieran might like break her out and let her know. Someone needs to tell Bella that Darcy is alive, because if they don't, then she is going to kill Kieran 100%. If he can't get the proof to her that Darcy is alive, he is going to die because she will kill him. And I also don't think she will rat out Kieran. There's like two sides. I can think of like two scenarios. One where she does and one where she doesn't. The first one where she doesn't is like, I don't want to tell the police who Kieran is because I want to be the one to kill him and make him suffer. So I'm not going to tell them who he is because that would just ruin it. He'd just get locked in a cell and it would ruin all the fun. So that's the one that I kind of think is going to happen. But the other one where she does, maybe like, I don't know. So she does tell them who Kieran is, and then he gets arrested, and then I don't know, maybe she can escape, and I don't know. she can escape and then maybe like confront him from the other side of the bars. But I'm not sure. I think the way that the story will go is that she doesn't tell him, and that's probably why I can't think of like a solid scenario on what would happen if she did. But what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, same. I do think that she still has her honor, and even if she plans on killing him, that's still more honorable than ratting him out. You know, it's like, I'll do this personally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you take it away from me.
Yeah, I do. I don't think she's gonna rat him out. I'm terrified. I hope that they can explain things to her before she kills him.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of everything, but we'll see. I guess that's life in Purple Hyacinth, perpetual terror.
Yeah.
So now we switch to Redcliff's mansion, and we see he is walking around with a cane because pretty severe beating. And his mansion is very, very opulent. Wow. I'm impressed. It's like even more opulent than the palace, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like it's gorgeous. I mean, it's very, very rich. And he is all beat up. His face is like bruised. And he says, "Who the hell is it? Why don't they want to come inside?" Because someone is knocking. And the butler's like, "I don't know, sir. They've insisted for you to meet them outside. They say it's an urgent matter."
Yep.
And he opens the door. He goes outside. Really, really, very fancy mansion. Personally, I love architecture. I really enjoy it. Nice fountain, a nice horseless carriage. And he approaches. There's two men outside. He is suspicious. He looks in. And he's looking around. He sees a hooded figure sitting in a very plush seat. Very nice. And the person outside says, "Viscount Redcliff, please forgive our unannounced visit. The matter was most urgent." And then he hears a click.
Yep, and they put a gun on him.
Yeah, it's a gun on his back. And the person says, "I strongly advise against making any alarming movement. Try to tell your butler that everything is under control and that you will be leaving with us." And he looks freaked out. He turns around and he's like, "Mr. Carson, go back inside. I'll be leaving for the night." I'm like, dude, you have to have like some kind of secret code, okay? Like, you have to have an arrangement with your butler, like blink or something, or like use code word, Mr. Butler Carson. I don't know, something. Like, this is like this lack of security for like an apostle is really like, I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. And in my mind, it was also like he has probably dealt in like kidnapping of, other people. Like he's probably, because he's been in this business for quite a while, so he probably knows that the best thing for him is to just go along with it, because he knows the deal, and he knows that he'll probably just have to just go along with it. That's what I picked up from him, like being so calm and like not really making a fuss about it.
Right. I do think that, he is experienced in the ways of crime. So I do think that's why he can remain calm. He's seen that.
I do agree that it was like a little bit silly to not have like a lot of security. But oh well, maybe he just had his guard down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was expecting, I'm sure he was expecting, so he should have been expecting something, given that the leader hates him and, he's an apostle. So I think that, maybe that, knowing that helped him calm down and accept it. And I think he's also very confident. He's like, whatever it is, I'll talk myself out of it.
He like did that with the leader. Like the leader was like, "You hijacked my mission and it was a failure, and now like there's a lot of suspicion," and he like weaseled his way out of it with his slick words. So he probably can just think that like, I'll just word my way out of this.
Yeah, I think that's how he succeeded so far. So he expects to do that again. So the butler nods and goes away, and he's like, I was like, "Who the hell are you?" I mean, oh my God, this guy is like, he's got the nerve. Yeah. And so when people slap handcuffs on him, shove him into the carriage, sit him down, and then there's the two men and the hooded figure. And the ref was like, "What do you want? Who are you?" And the hooded figure is there in constant darkness. And then they remove the hood, and we see Queen Elizabeth's earring. And then we see Queen Elizabeth, and she smiles wickedly, and she says, "You're queen, Viscount Redcliff, the one you swore your allegiance to and swore to destroy."
Yeah. And then bonus, the comment says, "Wow, this is the first ever that there's none of the main four in an episode." And I think that's actually right. This is the only episode where Lauren, Kieran, William or Kim are not in the episode. Apart from like the weird toilet guy that kind of looks like William, but he doesn't count.
Right. Yeah, next time I read it, I'll look out for that. But that's pretty impressive, and it was so rich and so exciting. Like
it was so good, even though it didn't have them. Yeah.
Wow. So what do you think? What do you think is the deal with Queen Elizabeth?
I really have no idea what to think. So it's obviously everyone's first instinct is because we've seen the leader with that same cloak. We were like, oh my God, is she the leader? And something that kind of confused me is a lot of people were saying in the Discord, oh, it can't be because Redcliff would have recognized her voice. But she doesn't speak until the end, and we don't see Redcliff's reaction. So we can't actually say for sure, oh, he would recognize the voice of the leader, so she's not the leader. But I also don't think she is the leader because her motives don't really make sense because the leader, like, even when it was the Snapdragon, they were like, oh, we want to abolish the royals and we want to make like a society that values everyone. And she has shown that she does not believe in that because like when she was confronting Darkin, she was like talking like, oh, we've already given everything to these poor good for nothings. And then he's like, they're like just trying their best to survive, and she just has like no empathy for them. So their like motives, unless she's like an amazing actress, their motives don't really line up. So I don't think she's the leader. But I also don't think she is a Phantom Scythe member either, because again, for the same thing, like her motives don't really line up with their ideology. So I think I actually have a few ideas that I wrote down. But what were you thinking about it?
So I agree with your reasoning that unless she's the world's greatest actress, like, you know, unless everything she said before was a lie, it would be very weird for her to be a leader. Like, it would make zero sense. So I don't know. Okay, so my theory a long time ago was that the Queen was the leader. And I made this whole long video about it. It was involved Kieran being like in royalty and like reading Victor Hugo's novel that, you know, was very interesting and possibly not even connected at all. But anyway, I don't know. I actually do think it's possible for the Queen to be throwing everyone off and completely misrepresenting her true thoughts in every time that we've seen her. Towards what end? My original thought was that she wanted King Edward killed so that she could, because she knew Philip was like a little puppy and she could boss him around and thus control the monarchy through that.
Yep.
Why she would want to do that exactly, I'm not sure. But that would still, I don't know, because if that wouldn't make sense that it would be a Phantom Scythe though. Like if she, let's say, got them killed in an ATST, I don't know. So the killing part makes sense, but the Phantom Scythe part doesn't. So I don't know, but I do think that it's possible that she's still, you know, completely misrepresenting herself for whatever ulterior motive. But it's probably more likely, if we're just going to go with like reading comprehension and just plain, you know, here's things, taking things at face value, that she just likes to be in control in general. And she, well, what do you think she's trying to do with Redcliff here? Like, why do you think she is kidnapping him?
So a few episodes ago, when they got the files and they were all in the rooms, I think it was like the king, the queen, Darkin and Stefan, William and Raphael's dad, and they were all like, oh my God, look, your son is one of them. And he like disowned him. And then they turn to like, what should we do? And then Darkin says like, I have a plan and you should listen to me. I think this might have something to do with that. We know that the queen doesn't really trust or like Darkin that much, so I think this might be part of his plan, but she's like hijacked it to go with her own goals. So maybe his plan was like, oh, we need, because what he said was they can't arrest Redcliff because everyone loves him, and if they arrested him like publicly, everything would go up in flames. So they had to do it discreetly, and that might have been like part of the plan, that like someone goes and gets Redcliff and like abducts him. But I don't know, maybe I think that the queen might have taken some of that for herself, and like she is talking to Redcliff about her own agenda, and it's not exactly going along with the plan that Darkin has laid out. I think that's what I wrote. Yeah
I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know what she would do with him. I don't know what Darkin does either. Like make him publicly something, apologize, say something else. I don't know. I don't know what their plan. Yeah, I like. I don't know what the plan is, but I think you're right about the surroundings of this.
Yeah.
I'm curious. So I will say, although the queen seems like to be a big jerk, I do like the fact that she is a capable lady.
Yeah.
Like,
she's not like her husband who's just like, what's going on, guys? We gotta stop everyone. We gotta stop all these bad things happening. But yeah, she's a lot more cunning, and for that she's a lot more interesting.
So I'm curious. This was not how I expected things to go down. I thought Bella would kill, Redcliff before he got arrested or anything.
Yeah.
So I am surprised. This whole episode was surprising, but in a good way. I like to be surprised. It's nice to like not know everything.
Yeah. So I've got a few little things that we have, just to keep in mind that so the thing that Kieran was worried about when he's on the bridge with Lauren is like something's gonna happen and they might be like keeping an eye on me. And Lauren says, you don't need to worry about it. We're about to drop this huge bomb. They're going to be focusing on that huge bomb rather than you. So while that's probably true, they're also going to be suspicious of Kieran because he did not get arrested. His name is not in the files because Lauren says, are you going to out the Hyacinth? And Sandman says, no, I'm not. So Lauren is saying this will distract them, like all the arrests will distract them. They'll probably not be thinking too much about Kieran's loyalty. They're going to be focusing on how, like who's the mole? How do we get our prisoners out? But as we've seen,
I don't think. By the way, I don't think Lauren knew about that Sandman was dropping that file that night. I think she just met.
She didn't know that night. I think, but she did know that he was making some files. Yeah, maybe not that night, but yeah, yeah, and also, like the thing about Kieran and his loyalty is when he gets his mission to kill 𝗙𝗪𝗏. He does it immediately, which makes sense because the last time he faffed about with the Loon mission didn't end very well, and like he technically even didn't complete it because Loon died before he could get to them. So him acting immediately when he gets 𝗙𝗪𝗏's assassination makes sense, and then going to Lauren and figuring it out. So I was thinking this is important because I was thinking, why didn't they tell Bella? And like, there's probably a few reasons. One, she's probably unreachable, and like they're friends, but they're not like, oh, hey Bella, let's chat over tea type friends. So, probably one is just like they didn't have enough time. They had to concoct a plan on how to make it look like Kieran had killed 𝗙𝗪𝗏, but not actually killed her that night. So they didn't have time to go find Bella. But it's also a massive oversight because they know. I don't actually know if they know about her relationship. So that's also another thing. Like, they didn't tell Bella because they just don't know that she's involved.
I think Kieran knows.
I think Kieran knows, yeah. But like, maybe he didn't know exactly how close they were. But yeah, there were probably just a few factors that led to him not telling her. But it is a major oversight because she was about to go kill him when she found out.
Definitely very worried about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you said something earlier that made me want to say something, but I forgot what. Yeah, Lauren thinking that like, oh sure, no one's gonna pay attention to us, and then like very next interrogation, who's the purple eyes?
Who's the purple eyes?
So much for that. Well, I'm excited. Do you think that we're gonna get the ball still because there was so much build up for it?
Sorry, I have my lunch here. I think, I don't know. So since it's been, because we've known about it for like nearly the entire series, I think it will happen. Because so one reason is that the queen wants it to happen, and since she has like the reins of the city, it probably will. That actually might have something to do with what she's talking to Redcliff about because it's his ball. So maybe she's like, I want the ball to happen for this and this and this, probably for her own personal gain. Most definitely likely.
Oh my gosh, I want to wear my pretty dress. You cannot ruin my ball.
This dress is non-refundable. I'm going to wear it, okay?
So I say this all the time, by the way. Which is good for her for being frugal.
Yep. So I think it will. I thinking about it, I thought it was going to be like the season finale location, because like the factory was last season finale's location. So I thought it was kind of going to be like that, but I don't think it's going to be the same as the factory arc. Probably going to be not as intense, but I thought that the ball would be the location for it. But now I'm not so sure because the plot has moved so far in terms of bringing the Phantom Scythe down. So like maybe the ball's not necessary anymore, but I think it would still be something interesting. But I don't think I have enough information to determine whether or not I want the ball to happen. Maybe next week I will have more opinions on whether the ball should happen or not.
Yeah, I'm curious also. Like, I agree there was so much buildup for it that I just feel like they can't not have it. But we'll see. And I do think that she kidnapped him so that the ball can go on. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy that they surprised us. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite panel? Kieran's art corner.
My favorite panel? It's probably the one behind you right now. Probably the one when Bella's like, I was on my merry way to kill him. I was like walking with a swing in my step on my way to Kieran's house to go kill him. Yeah, but also the outside shots of the tower are pretty cool. Like those as well. And they don't get as much. I feel sad because a lot of the background shots, like establishing, don't get as much love, even though they take probably a long time to render and draw. So I feel like I should shout those guys out.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good point. I personally appreciated like Redcliff's mansion a ton this episode. Like I really liked it. So I appreciate that you say that. You're an artist, you understand. So that's a really nice point. My favorite panel is the last one because it's just so surprising and
it's got a lot of atmosphere. Yeah.
It's just, I like it. We are surprised. And also I had my theory that the queen is sus, for a long time. So I like to feel some level of vindication, even if the how she is sus is not how I predict it. I don't care. She's sus. I always said that. So I'll take that.
Yep. She's shady boots.
That queen.
This queen. All right. So anything else to say on the episode before we close out?
Really quick thing. We didn't see Raphael get arrested, and that's interesting because a lot of people are sus of Will's dad. So if he doesn't get arrested, that places a lot of suspicion on Will's dad. So hopefully we get some word on the Hawks. They're totally not crazy family that's going through a lot right now.
Yeah, I wonder if Sandman didn't want, if he was around, if he was Lauren's family's driver and they played together as children, he might have known Will and he might have even known Raphael. So I wonder if he deliberately didn't give away Raphael. But I don't know. Yeah.
That's just something I wanted to point out so people remember. Maybe in the next episode we should keep a lookout for Mr. Hawks, see what he's up to.
Definitely, these people have got to, as someone joking around like the family reunion finally. that would be funny. Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what happens in that thread. All right, well, this was a great episode.
Definitely.
Really surprising twists and plot progression. My son, who has not read the comic, has his opinions as well. So
I'm sure they're very important. I'd love to listen to them.
Yeah, and it was so nice to meet you, Chaise, and everyone check out Chaise's webtoon. It'll be in the show comments. So this was great. Thank you so much. All right, have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you to my current patrons: Susie, Lady Libris, Lily, Molly, Veronica, Emily, Jo Rochelle, Saucy Toggles, Anne Rose, Alexa, Misty, Joanne, Esther, and Watching You People, Emily, Jean, Jen, Kay, Lily, Beckett, Christine, Sadie, Teresa, Mrs. Castaldo, and 𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗏. Your support is truly appreciated.